What is the significance of these recent coaching hires in the light of the Flores lawsuit?
Well, listen, I think it's incredibly alarming, and I think that Tyrann Mathieu highlighted what's going on. You got NFL owners, for the most part, who don't believe in black men, who don't believe that black men can lead a team. They don't view black men as leaders of young men, even young black men, which is egregious because what they're saying is, as always, they prefer themselves to be in those leadership roles. And, you know, there's an aspiration for us to always be laborers as opposed to leaders. That's what most of these NFL owners are saying. When you have 5 openings and counting that have all been filled by white men at a particular moment in time where we're looking at the situation for what it is, understanding that in the year 2022, you know, there's only one black head coach when the Rooney Rule was instituted in 2003, and there were 3 black head coaches at that moment in time. It's simply egregious. There's no way around it. Having said that, I want to say this. If there is an exception today, that exception would be Doug Pederson. Doug Pederson, the former head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles, deserves to be a head coach. He won a Super Bowl championship in Philadelphia. He's had a resume prior to being a head coach in Philadelphia. He got the job, he produced, and more importantly, when he was exiled from Philadelphia, there were a lot of question marks as to why that was the case. Why is he gone, but Howie Roseman's still there? Why has Jeffrey Lurie sided with Howie Roseman instead of Doug Pederson? Why is Carson Wentz, at least at the time immediately, he was more valued than Doug Pederson? Because if you remember, Ryan and Sam, there were debates as to whether or not who should go, Carson Wentz or Doug Pederson, and Howie Roseman was overseeing that. Well, we've seen from Carson Wentz, we've seen enough. We've seen a guy that's talented. We've seen a guy that can play in the National Football League. We've also seen the embodiment of somebody who is an accident waiting to happen. What can go wrong will go wrong. And for once, I ain't talking about the Cowboys. I'm talking about Carson Wentz. You go into Jacksonville with the playoffs on the line, a playoff berth on the line. The head coach was your quarterback coach and offensive coordinator in Philadelphia when Philadelphia won the Super Bowl, even though you weren't playing in that game because you were injured and Nick Foles was playing in that game. But that season, you were a leading candidate for league MVP honors before you went down with a few games left in the regular season when you got injured in L.A. So we've seen Carson Wentz mess up. Just like we saw him do it again this year against Jacksonville with a playoff berth on the line. Mess up, even with Frank Reich as your coach. So that, to me, elevates Doug Pederson even more because Doug Pederson was the coach when you were looking like an MVP candidate. Doug Pederson won a Super Bowl without you, with you getting injured with about 3 or 4 games left in the season. Doug Pederson should be a head coach in the National Football League. So as a black man sitting here this morning, completely disgusted at the habits that NFL owners continue to put on display. The exception to this diatribe that I'm giving is Doug Pederson. I'm happy he has a head coaching job because he's the one candidate of all the dudes that have been hired who absolutely unequivocally, without a doubt, no question mark, deserves to be a head coach in the National Football League. Floor is yours.
I 100% agree with that. Doug Pederson is a great hire for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, honestly, when you look back early on in kind of their coaching search, when you're interviewing a guy like Byron Leftwich, a guy that was the 7th pick of the draft for the Jacksonville Jaguars, it seemed like a slam dunk to me. You've coached with Tom Brady, you've learned under Bruce Arians, and now you could be the person that could help tutor and make Trevor Lawrence what everyone expects that he can be. But when I look at a guy like Doug Pederson, a dude that has won a Super Bowl, somebody who helped Carson Wentz become a 2017 MVP candidate, I think you look at all those things and you say they did the right thing. I sat with Hugh Jackson last week on The Pivot. I do a show with Channing Crowder. I do a show with Fred Taylor. And I was listening to some of the things that he said went on in Cleveland. We talked a little bit about him being ousted from Oakland when you're an 8-8 coach. And so you know that it's not equal, right? You know that everything that goes on for black coaches in this league is not seen the same way. And you mentioned the Rooney Rule, Stephen A. You mentioned the fact that there were 3 head coaches that were black at the time, and now they're less than that. There's only one. And the one head coach who still remains that is black has never had a losing season. And so what it's starting to feel like is that if you aren't impeccable, if you aren't dang near perfect, you can't have a job in this league. And what starts to happen is it seems like we're complaining every time somebody black doesn't get a head coaching job. And that's not it. We are simply stating that there are racial biases in the way that hiring takes place, that there are 29 white billionaires that own these teams and they hire through familiarity. Is Doug Pederson a good choice? Yes. But there are also black men that can lead teams, much like Tyrann Mathieu says, and they don't always have to be laborers in the way that you spoke about it as well, Stephen A.
Yeah, RC, that you make a great point. I think my biggest point is this. When I think about black coaches in the NFL specifically, because that's what we're talking about, I think about my time in business school, right? Went to the McCombs Business School at Texas, got my MBA from the Thunderbird School of Global Management. We learned about operations management. In operations management, there's something called LIFO, right? Last in, first out. There's also FIFO, right? First in, first out, et cetera, et cetera. When it comes to black coaches in the NFL, it seems like they're always the last ones in and the first one's out. Let's just take this year alone. Out of the 9 vacancies, 5, or really you could say 6 if you include Minnesota, who we all know is going to get Kevin O'Connell as their coach. 6 of the 9 have been filled. Those 6 so far are all white men. So, yes, it's true that right now there's only one black coach in a few weeks, or maybe in a few days. There might be 2 or 3 or even 4. But even if that's the case, it always seems like black head coaches get the short end of the stick. You're the last one in. And then as we saw with coaches like David Culley, when this coaching cycle came about, though he was fired a little bit later, you're oftentimes the first one out. And so that's frustrating. So then the question becomes, what do we do? What should we do? I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, right, on the NFLPA, Player Association, and they asked, well, can the NFLPA do anything about this? And my first response was no.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.